So today, we're diving into a company called Ace Digital Global. And they're working on something that's, well, it's pretty radical. They're basically saying the whole way we build software is upside down. They haven't just created a new tool, they've built a system, a factory really, that produces finished apps. And honestly, this idea could completely change how we think about making things. And it all boils down to this one simple question. What if the most important skill for creating software wasn't your ability to code, but your ability to communicate? I mean, really communicate, with absolute clarity. What if you could just describe what you wanted and a system just built it?
This quote, man, it just says it all, doesn't it? This is the core realization. The founder understood that the endless loop, code, test, fix, tweak, repeat, that was the real bottleneck. The big leap was to stop being the one doing all that manual work and to start being the one who directs the intelligence that does it for you.
Okay, so what does this new way to build actually look like in practice? It's a huge mental shift. You've got to stop thinking like a craftsman, someone who's laying every single brick by hand, and start thinking like an architect who designs the whole building and then lets a team of automated builders get to work.
Yeah, this really gets to the heart of it. The old way is this messy, hands-on process of constant tweaking. But this new way, they call it the conductor mindset. And that's perfect, right? You're not playing every violin and cello yourself. No way. You're the conductor. You express the vision, you set the tempo, and you let the orchestra, the intelligence, make the music. So, how does this orchestra actually play? It's all built around this really cool partnership between two groups. The humans, called the ACE AI Council, and the AI, which are called the ACE AI Agents. This is where the human idea meets flawless AI execution. And here's the breakdown. It's so clean. On one side, you have the Human Council. Think of them as the strategists, the visionaries. They decide the what and the why. And on the other side, you have the AI agents. They are the builders, the tireless workforce that just executes on the how, with incredible speed and precision. Now let's meet this digital crew, the core ACE AI agents. You've got Adam, who's basically the project manager, the one running the whole show. Then there's builder and design. They're your engineer and your UX specialist. But just as critical, you have governor, who's like the quality control, making sure everything is on brand and ethical. And logger, who writes down everything, giving you a perfect paper trail.
So all this theory sounds amazing, but you gotta ask, does it actually work? Well, let's look at their very first deployment. The goal here wasn't just to build a website. It was to prove that this whole system, from top to bottom, could deliver a real-world product.
And the main tool they use to talk to the agents is something called a build order. Just think of it like the ultimate blueprint for an idea. Instead of writing lines of code, the council writes a super clear, structured document that tells the agents exactly what to build, what it should feel like, and the rules it has to follow. And you can see how it all unfolded step by step. The first build order? Just make a skeleton, a basic scaffold. The next one tells the agents to layer on professional branding to build credibility. Then, Version 3 integrates the company's core values. After that, it's all about business, adding calls to action for conversion, and finally adding a section to position the company for big enterprise clients. Every single step was a new, automated deployment.
And here's the crucial thing to understand. The final website wasn't really the point. It was an artifact. It was deployment 001, the first piece of hard evidence that this whole idea of communication-driven development actually works.
Okay, so proving it can work once is one thing, but can it scale? This is where we get to the really big vision, creating a factory for apps. How do you take one success and turn it into a repeatable system that can build, well, anything? The answer is this concept of a workspace. Imagine a clean, empty workshop for every single new product. Each one gets its own set of blueprints, the build orders, and its own project history. But here's the kicker. Every single project is built by the exact same core team of AI agents.
And the flexibility here is just wild. We're not just talking about new web apps. These ACE AI agents can modernize an old clunky system, integrate a new UI, or even take an existing zipped-up application, ingest it, and upgrade it. Every new challenge is just a new workspace for the factory.
This quote just hits the nail on the head. Your focus completely shifts. You're no longer the craftsman obsessing over one little thing at a time. You become the industrialist, the person who designs the entire assembly line. The product isn't the app. The real product is the factory. Which brings us to our last section, and, it might be the most important one. What does all this mean for us, for people? What is our role in a world where AI agents are doing all the building?
I love this quote. It's cheeky, but it's also incredibly profound. See, most no-code tools just replace typing code with clicking and dragging things around. It's still manual work. This system is a whole level of abstraction above that. You don't operate the builder, you just tell the system your intent, and it builds the builder for you.
So let's just put it side by side. The old way, you're in the trenches, hands dirty, directly manipulating code and pixels. The new way, you're in the command center. Your job isn't to do the work, it's to have a crystal clear vision and be able to communicate it perfectly to the system.
And what this does is it creates an entirely new role for us. We're not just builders anymore. We become systems communicators. It sounds a little futuristic, I know, but it's true. Our main job is to be the architects of intelligence itself, to set the vision and guide this incredibly powerful AI workforce.
And so that leaves us with this final kind of mind-bending question to chew on. If the biggest barrier to creating something amazing is no longer technical skill, but just the clarity of your own communication, what incredible, complex, and beautiful systems will you choose to speak into existence?